I just had a quick message, and that is that a lot of you all have been hearing me talk about spiral chemistry, what happened with the alignments in space, the change of the substance that makes up gravity and the space time continuum and darkness that we are currently in within this galaxy, right? As well as for the universe itself and then the Treasure-verse that it's in. So there's advanced travel that's happening. There's a lot of movement, a lot of cleanup, a lot of cleaning up of specifically the bad kamazats that were created by American society. What happens with animals and factory farming? All of that is getting cleaned up and it's allowing more movement and more of a change to happen. So I would say that one of the things that you're going to keep seeing is the chemicals getting shut down on top of this change, right? Because the change is allowing a new system to come forward to control chemistry. The largest, I would say, the most influential factor in what's happening in chemistry is the fact that a bunch of black and brown people were kidnapped for clinical trials, set up for clinical trials, like really out of control nonsense for white companies. Then the fact that those chemicals came from space, and then what that even means too. So the fact that they were given those chemicals, on top of that, stealing people's phytochemicals, plotting on people, kidnapping people to cut up harsh chemicals, that whole thing has broken down chemistry as a whole and given it over to black and brown people, right? So, what's going to end up happening here is all of you all are going to be able to find out about the system, sign up for it, start using it for your business, etc., right? Other people have heard about this and they are angry that it had gone that far they didn't know. When you think about chemistry too, think about phytochemicals and think about psychedelics. Think about medicine based phytochemicals, right? They are getting deactivated because there's a specific function that runs them out in space and time. So think about, like, a lot of indigenous people, they have this plant, this plant, this plant. The plants can be sisters. The plant's mother is mother and daughter too. What ended up happening in space is there was a mass realignment because of what happened with the Kamazat, with the soil network. Somebody buried themselves here a long time ago, but they came with an original body. So for them to come all the way from all the way over there and have an original body, and they fell to planet Earth, they buried themselves here. And then what they did with some stupid magic is activate their form throughout everybody's like consciousness and body, because they got attached to the soil network because an octopus gave them magic. So I know that's like so far out, but that's basically what happened in space for black and brown people. That's what's getting exposed and that's getting unraveled, the chemistry and all that behind it. So think about junctions, right, between different plants, mother, sister, etc. That's another thing that's getting cleared out too and being made available to us, and also getting closed for certain people. That's what gives potency. That's what gives bioavailability, right? That's what gives its digestion process, etc. So this entity is getting removed from the planet, but it's getting anchored onto specific peoples that were involved in the original war. And now you're going to see that come out. So those people that are claiming to be, of a certain type of denomination, which we'll talk about tomorrow on Sunday, they are going to be the ones that have to take on that substance now from the person that came in original form with original markings, divination markings on their body, etc., and played like that on the planet. So now what has happened here, that is another way that they turn on that virtual reality, and that's why people are getting set up. So now what's happening here is the chemical servers have all gotten locked. Also because of that too, because of how they played with the phytochemicals in the food to cause warfare. So people turning on spy magic throughout for thousands of people at a time, we're all seeing the same thing, messages, etc., because somebody playing in space with the soil networks. Because of what happened subsequently, because of the spying, it handed over the chemistry to us in a major way again. So now you're seeing all the ways in which now, I just have to tell you, don't get your nails done. It's actually fentanyl. That is not acrylic, and something's really going to backfire in a few days. Whoa. So now, one of the things that's, unfortunate is that I have to tell you guys in these quick snippets so that you get into the awareness of what's come down here now. So there's all kinds of people watching my channel. So I'm trying to speak in a tone that everyone understands. And this is how, we can have cohesion and unity and move forward as a community with the message. So now that the chemical servers have been sealed, moved over, you just have to put yourself in the Akasha. Also, too, learning about your chemical server, your chemical body, getting adjusted. Yeah, we've been eating this plant for years. That's how all these wars have been going on, because they were activating the plant on us in space. Okay. Also, the soil network for specific lands, which is going to come up too. Also, what's going on too with the EMF radiation, and that needing to get cleared out as well. So making a commitment to clear out that chemical warfare and different chemical warfares that we have to clean out. Chemical warfare of, the American food system, chemical warfare of, Project Housing, what they did in the 80s and 90s, which is going to come up in a minute. A documentary on Netflix about the war on drugs in New York, crack epidemic, and a bunch of mothers in clinical trials about being on drugs and then their children, getting put in the system, and the different Russian names and Jewish names that are out now, all popping up with ear klankla and running around the district attorney's office and prosecutor's office and playing. So, this is now, what comes out in regards to you guys who are going to space and getting these chemicals, thinking you were this and that, because you were using the chemicals. They were playing with you with magic. You thought you guys were special and powerful. They added another level to it with that radio frequency technology. It's just delusion, right? So, it's all unraveling here. So now we own this. We're getting situated. We have to move forward. There's going to be a lot more. And I say this to say I've taught on this multiple times. I have like a lot that you guys can have, but certain people are going to end up cursing themselves and playing with this whole thing. Also, too, for this whole chemistry, I'm waiting for us to get in person to talk about more. And what ended up happening, and people needing to avoid bombs and things like that for the chemicals that ended up, getting unleashed throughout the food and products and air, and what that's going to look like when we put out the new chemistry product. Because one of the things here, it's not everyone's going to be able to get that. You're just going to have a specific energy field added to you where you're able to go ahead and, incorporate a specific layering to your anatomy, right? And it opens up packages of coding that, block that out on your cellular molecular layer. Right? It's because it plays with your biochemistry tough. And this is what you're getting with, Rockdale fires and people dying immediately because of the air. So this is now where you're gonna have to come to a certain center, things like that, get blasted with certain frequencies, that all that type of stuff. I have it. And we can go. They've tried everything playing out of my computer. So many wars have gotten started because of them. So now this is what we're gonna go ahead and do. So that's all I have to say. You guys, thank you so much for watching. Bye.